Howdy everyone. Welcome to the first episode of... I actually have no clue what to title these stuff, so maybe it'll just be Untitled for now. What I wanted to do is just like a new project to kind of start laying out my thoughts and just talk about different things while also catching up on some backlog of video games I've been wanting to catch up on, start playing so far. And one of those games happened to be Genshin Impact. So we'll be playing this for the next few uploads, and I want to basically catch up to the story. I've stopped around patch 4.3, and I started playing this since release back in 2020. It's crazy, it's been 4 years since Genshin released, so as you can see, I was pretty diligent with the game. 100% all these areas, Sumeru, Inazuma. Man, Sumeru Desert was just a pain in the butt. Yeah, I got all the way to Fontaine. I think barely stopped around 4.3, so I have a lot of Archon quests to actually start getting through. But I did take a break for a bit, and I wanted to get back into it, mainly because Arlecchino is out, and I've still yet to see her home yet, so hopefully in 15 days I'll be able to acquire her, and I plan to hopefully just acquire her from just gems from exploring and just regular quests. Yeah, on to the topic of the show. Just wanted to give an intro of what I'm doing, this new project, and I kind of like the idea of a Bob Ross show where he kind of just does his thing. He's painting, but he also sometimes spews out nuggets of information or just talks about random things. And so I really like that because it allows you to kind of put something on the background, and you could either enjoy the gameplay that's going on here, and also maybe partake in some conversations or thoughts that I might be having. Some of that including I'm currently obsessed with more of the financing stuff and budgeting. I spent the last 3 months kind of nailing down my budget, and I think I've gotten a good balance for myself. So that'll be fun to kind of explore with you guys, talk about, maybe even help some of you guys with some decisions on budget and finance. I've also been getting to a lot of productivity stuff. I've been working more, doing freelance stuff. I'm a product designer. I work for a small agency out here and basically do UI and UX for various companies and websites and apps. So I can also dive into those topics here and there. So let's see. So the purpose of this episode was I just want to do an account overview so that the future episodes of me playing Genshin kind of makes more sense. You guys know where I'm at, what I'm working with, what characters I have. Full disclosure, I do pay for this game. I used to spend a lot on this game actually, and that's probably one of the reasons why I stopped. Because I wasn't sure if I was just more addicted to getting characters, or if I was justifying the costs of spending money on this game. So I kind of had to do a little wind back and kind of reassess what I'm doing with this game, and how far I'm going to take it, because you never know, like, is Genshin gonna last forever? Am I gonna be still playing this in 4 more years or 5 more years? Is there enough story to even go that far? So we'll talk about those little things while I do my account overview, and we'll see what you got. So I've already shown my exploration, so you can tell I've done a lot of stuff already. These new areas I haven't been to. The only reason there is some exploration because I'm just getting some daily gems here and there. So this is my character profile. Like I've said, since the start of this game, I remember at release, I was actually waiting in line for Oregano's Pizza with a friend, and the game came out, so I remember downloading the game on my phone while waiting in line. It was slow connection, but I wanted to keep my spot, my name. I started off with basically the Welcome Pass, which was what, $5? Yeah, $4.99, and then I would always do the Battle Pass here, and I'd always get the highest one just because I thought at the time the name cards were really cool, but you're paying $10 extra for not as much. Back then they didn't have furnishing, so you were just spending for a card and resin, which was $10 can go a long way for other things. So I've learned my lesson on that. I stopped paying for that. I've actually stopped paying for Battle Pass after the second year or so. It just wasn't worth it, and I'd rather get characters at that point. So yeah, let's go through our characters. So currently I am using Kaching, Kazuha, Nahida, Furina as my adventuring team. They're always fun to use. As far as 5 stars, you can tell I have no shortage of them. Basically have all the standard ones that were put in the standard banner. And then my reasoning behind some of my character choices was basically if they were cool enough or if they had a unique play style, then I would grab them. So as far as constellations go, C4 Kaching, all natural. I wasn't fishing for her when her banner was out, so I just started liking her just because she had a cool playstyle, and she's just really good with Dendro right now. Kazuha, just C0. He's good at that. Ideally, it'd be fun to get a C2, but I'm not gonna hunt for that. Nahida's at C0. Furina is my recent purchase, C6. I don't know why. So this is where I started doubting myself. Okay, am I just getting C6 for the sake of C6, or am I actually valuing her at this point? Zhongli still at C0. If anything, I would like C6 of him, but my mindset has changed about this game, so it'll probably be nothing I will get. So Baizu, I really liked him. I thought he was a really cool character to get, and he was a Dendro healer, and I didn't want to get Kokomi. She didn't fit my playstyle, so I got Baizu instead. Nailu, C0. Nailu and Nahida was more of I should pull these characters because I know I need some Sumeru characters. Otherwise, I feel like I'd be locked behind a huge gap if I didn't have Dendro related reactions. Ayato was another cool character I really liked. I'm glad I picked him up. He was cool. Yolan, I actually picked her because I didn't know how good she was. She was just a cool character, and then just realizing she was basically another Xingqiu just helps freeze up the gives more freedom for team building. So it's great that I got her. Linny, I got C1. I remember going for C1 specifically because having 2 hats is just really crazy powerful. And he was I think he was, yeah, he's my first Fontaine character, so glad I have him. Yoimiya is one of the waifus, so got C6 for it's, I don't know, I haven't played a C0 Yoimiya to even test it out, so I don't know how much more this actually gives to her, but I like her story, I like her style, she's fun to play, so in terms of money, worth it. She's still one of my main characters I use and very fond of, so very fun to use in Vaporize team. Hu Tao was like the first gateway drug of Genshin. So she is C6. I'm glad I have her C6. Not regretful of the purchase, but you'll know at the end of the pain, not the pain, but kind of like the disappointment. But now I'm just trying to justify like everything on here, but what can I say about Hu Tao? She's like one of the best characters in the game, and she's great to have. So Dualistique was actually one of my first 5-star characters, because I think I remember losing the first 50-50 on the Venti banner to Dualistique, and then was able to pick up Venti a few rows after, so I had Dualistique and Venti at the start. He naturally got C6 by just trying to aim for other characters, so I'm kind of happy that as one of my favorite Pyro characters in the beginning is able to be at his max potential, so he's a cool character. Love his new outfit. Xing Shou. So all these gonna be all of these 4 stars are almost obviously 6 constellations. So Bennett, I still haven't activated 6-1. Still hoping they have a way to like turn it on and off, but I don't know. I actually don't use him as much these days, other than pairing him up with Linny. So he's an interesting character for sure. I think he got outdated. He's still good, but there's just better team combinations you can use, and you don't really need that huge boost. I really liked Ito. I think I would like him more if my artifacts were better. He's not even on the right. He's using different set, but I think one of my goals is to probably start farming better artifacts for him. Albedo's is great. He's fun to use. I named my Wanderer Jungkook. Just C0. I thought I would like him, but then I don't know. His playstyle is a little awkward for me, so I think also because I don't have C6 Farazan, I refuse to like use him because I know he's not at his full potential. Venti has been C0 since the start of the game. He's been awesome to use. Shenhe, I think this is one of my first characters I got lucky with getting C1 within like 80 rows or so. I actually don't like Cryo as much, but she's pretty cool. Eula, it's another C6. I really like her playstyle. It's very unfortunate that physical doesn't really do much these days, but I could be wrong because it's been 3 patches, and maybe there's better stuff for Eula right now that could make her more useful now. So I'll have to play around with that. Ganyu was like the meta pick. Everybody had a Ganyu. If you didn't, you weren't able to do much things. So, but she's pretty cool. I only have her C0, so but I do have the Amos bow. For Sino, I really like Sino. So I ended up getting C1. And I think I have his weapon. I don't have his weapon, so yeah, I've been using Skyward Spine for now for energy recharge. I like his playstyle. I like that you have to time his skill when something comes up, so it just adds more engagement, interactivity with the character. I don't know why I got Yae Miko. I remember hearing rumors that she was like the better Electro than Raiden. Well, I'm not sure about that. So maybe because I don't have really good artifacts in general for Electro, that she's not performing as well. Raiden, everyone has a Raiden, right? I got C2 just because 60% ignoring 60% defense is pretty nuts. I don't plan to get more, but I actually don't use her as much. Only certain content I will, and if I'm like trying to get superconduct with Eula, then I'll have her. Dehya, I really want to like her, but it's unfortunate that they didn't make her as good in this game compared to what I've heard. She has a cool design. I think I got C1 because I got her during standard banner as well, so I don't know. Maybe over time when I get C6, she'll be cool. But right now she's just a shield for Lenny if I use her in that team. Lynette, C6, Kuki. Surprisingly, I don't have C6. Fischl was one of my favorite like 4-star characters. And I'm glad that she has that new artifact set, Golden Troop, to make her better now. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Barber saved me a lot early game. Toma, Shangli, Jean Scene 4, Alloy. Chi-Chi is my demon. This C6 is a lie. It's actually probably like C30. I've gotten her so many times and it's so frustrating that Genshin doesn't have like a 5-star pity, whereas like if you get so much of the same characters, you should be able to like choose a constellation of another 5 standard banner or something. It's nuts that they don't have something like that. Ayaka
embraces its duty as a jeweler
was another poll. Maybe I kind of regretted it because I kind of pulled her just because I thought she would be really good, but I think she's only good if you have like a C2 or C4. I'm sure. I mean, it's not to say all these characters are bad. They're all good, even at C0 for the most part, depending on how you build them and your team. But I mainly just want to say I didn't like her playstyle. So again, like Cryo is just not my cup of tea. Tainari, I got him through standard banner, so it's kind of a free Sumeru character for me. Mona, surprising I don't have more of her. because freaking Chi-Chi just keeps coming back. I like Yunjin. Just made Yoimiya so much more useful, and I like her support. Goro, Noel, most of these are C6. I'm liking Charlotte. She's pretty cool. I like her heals. She works well with Farina. Zarya. Everybody praises Diona. I've never really used her as much. Even like Eula teams, I don't use her. I use Rosaria instead. But I can see how useful she is with shielding and healing. Kaya still on C2. Mika. So I think Mika pairs well with Eula. So maybe hoping to get some constellations of Mika to help boost that. I haven't actually read what exactly he does. Sara, Kujasara, obviously for Raiden or Yaimiko. Beta, C6, C6. Surprising C4. Like, getting 4 stars is sometimes harder than 5 stars. It's nuts. If they're not like on a rate up. Klee was like an interesting banner. I got her like on one of the reruns, and I always wanted to Klee because I think I lost to her first banner 50-50, so I was kind of salty about that. So finally picked her up later on. Then yeah, these are the other characters. Ultimately, the goal is. My goal right now is actually get everyone to level 90. So I'll be using some resin on just bosses and XP. It'll be fun. I know it's not going to be the best use of resin. I should be artifact farming, but just seeing everyone at level 90 and at any point be able to pick them up and use them for Spiral Abyss or anything would be a fun run. And I wanted to show weapons. Mainly got most of the signature weapons for the characters I want to use, except for like Sino. But I have enough. I mean, Staff of Homo just covers a lot of characters, so I like to get more useful weapons. I hate that Genshin kind of fell into more like specific weapons for specific characters to kind of get more sales or stuff like that. It's not a Genshin thing, it's a Hoyoverse thing. I've seen the same pattern in Honkai Star Rail and games like that, so unfortunate, but at least some of the earlier weapons are reusable. Some standard weapons are good. It just does more damage and it just helps things along the way. So a lot of you Gacha theorists must be wondering what's the price tag on all of this. So, and you know, like doing the math here isn't actually correct. You can get the minimum amount, but in total I spent in the 4 years it was $5,600, so roughly around that time. Because yeah, they do their prices in .99, which I get from shopping psychology wise. It's .99 seems cheaper. Like this is cheaper than 100, but I don't know. They should just round it up. Oh yeah. I have purchased outfits. Unfortunately, I missed out on some events for free outfits, so that's why I stopped buying outfits, because I feels sucky to spend like $15 on something you could have got for free, but I don't know. I do like hers, so I might get her at least. What else on the account review? So So I wanted to reveal that I spent $5,600 on it. So was it worth it? Financially, it wasn't worth it, right? Because $6,000 on a game is pretty nuts, and that's not even like what most people spend. You know, you can even call that like almost like a medium-sized spending or even a light spending. If you even took into account like the heavier whales as the terminology goes. So financially, like obviously $6,000 could be used for something different, and you know that's basically a trip to Japan for like 2 people or so, or probably 1 person actually. Yeah, $6,000. So that's a whole experience. So now you might be thinking like, okay, well, 6,000 for 4 years is maybe actually not that bad, right? Because that's about 1,500 a year, and divided by 12, that's like 100, 130, 120 a month. You know, that's what, 4 trips to McDonald's now, or 4 Uber Eats or DoorDash. So, you know, I think describing the value of what you spent in a game, it's going to be very different from people and their lifestyle. Some people really enjoy eating out, and some people really enjoy video games. So I think the lessons to learn here is your mindset when doing these type of purchases. And my mindset back then was like, I wanted to almost kind of have something that people wouldn't have. Because, you know, everyone compares your account with your friends or people you know. And I also wanted that power spike. Like, oh, I just want this character in their best form, you know. So that was my mindset. It was just like, you know, if I really like a character, I want to use them in their best potential form. And getting C6 and getting the weapon is their best form. Like, obviously, I'm like very smart of it. I'm never gonna go for like an R5 weapon. So that was something I learned to quickly stop myself from getting too far in the weeds of that. So I was financially responsible in that aspect. So let's see. But yeah, what's my mindset going on now? Well, Genshin is actually more forgiving than other gacha games, where there is a limit to how much you can spend to get a character or a weapon. And so you do have a maximum amount that you could spend. And I think right now, like a 5-star character, in terms of like a character that you actually want, is about $100, maybe 120 or so. I haven't done the math recently, but and that's in consideration if you lose the 50-50, and so you have to obviously get more rows to be able to guarantee the character. So that's $120. And if you budget $120 for a character, then as long as you only spend $120, then you know you're going to lose that anyways. So it's almost like gambling. But if you got the character within $20, then good luck. I mean, good for you. And save that extra $100, either bucket it into another expense you want to go out, treat yourself to dinner, or save it for a future game expense, then that's all cool. Where it goes wrong is when you start going over the $120 because you might be thinking like, oh, I got the character, but I actually kind of want C1 or C2. And now you're overstretching your budget, and that's when it starts disrupting, your other budgets in terms of maybe, you had budgets for rents or groceries, and that's where it gets you. So, words of advice, if you're gonna spend money on anything, you have a budget and you stick to the budget. If you're below budget, hooray. Just never be over budget, right? So, my other mindset of this game is like the longevity of this. And to me, like, okay, I spent $6,000 on this game. How much longer am I gonna play this game? Is this game gonna last that long for me to kind of stretch out that $6,000, or heck, if I pay more in this game, that could easily go $10,000, or even more, depending on the character, stuff like that. I don't think I'll ever reach 10,000 for this game, but it's not a far out stretch if this game stretches, another 4 years or 5 years. So we'll have to see how this game goes, because I feel like everything's gonna come to an end. Like, how much longer do they have in this game? I don't know. I haven't seen a roadmap or anything they've discussed about this, but I feel like they keep on making more and more gachas, and how are they dividing the time to do content for all of them? And I know they have like a model that they follow, and they probably have this to a T. It's just interesting how much more can they add to this, right? Like, yes, a map can be like infinite, and it's just like crazy. So it'll be interesting to keep following the story. That's why I want to get back into it, play more story, catch up, and just keep going and just see how far it goes. Maybe 3 years from now, I'll make another video of like my account overview and just see how much has changed. So I think it'll be interesting to create this video now and capture my thoughts. Will I be still at the 6,000 price? Am I going to spend more? Hopefully not. That's the idea. I think I'm happy with who I have now. As long as these two characters are still relevant until the end of the game, then I think I should be fine. But they start pumping out new elements, new characters, and it's gonna be a whole different story. But yeah, I'm glad I can still be able to like complete Abyss without much effort, and that that's kind of the reason why spending money helps in a way. Is you're making up for lost time. You can have more mistakes in your gameplay and still achieve the same results. You don't have to farm as much. Like, my artifacts are actually kind of trash right now, and I was able to like one shot 35 stars. Max is 36. The only reason I got 35 is I had a bad matchup with Nahida facing like some Dendro monsters, and I just did 0 damage. So I wasn't able to clear things fast enough. But 35 is fine for me. Maybe I'll go back and complete it again. But again, that's just time I could use elsewhere, playing a different game, or I always try to balance the time I spend on work, this time I spend on myself, and just leisure time. So. But that's all I have for the account review. Hopefully it's not too long. You see what I'm working with, see what I have, the transparency of how much I spent on this. Just so when you see me playing the video games and I'm blasting things easily with my characters, you're not surprised. So that was one thing I wanted to mention. I think we had some good talks about gacha games, spending money. Well, talked a little about finances and budget. And you know, I have nothing against spending money on things you like to have, just as long as you fit it in your budget and you know it's in your budget and you don't go over it, and enjoy and have fun. So that's all for now. Peace out, guys.